So today we're going to take a look at part number 1 for the top 10 buffs for season 25. There are so many buffs that I mostly have either 2 or 3 of those parts out, but there are going to be other videos as well towards the new season, so definitely feel free to subscribe to this channel as well if you want to stay up to date. Today we're going to take a look at 10 Pokemon that got buffed for the new season that have apparently a lot of potential. So let's take a look at what we're going to have for the next season in store. We're going to start off with Cetitan. Cetitan is going to get 3 big upgrades actually, Powder Snow. It's going to get 1 more damage. We're going to have access to the move Icicle Spear, which also gets buffed to 70 damage for 40 energy for this Pokemon as well. As well as you're going to have access to Superpower, which is going to give it a great coverage. Superpower itself is absolutely amazing for this Pokemon because you're going to be able to A, hit Steel-type Pokemon, which prior you were not able to do, but also B, you're going to be able to hit Rock-type Pokemon, which are super effective against you, so goodbye Bastion. And so Cetitan actually has quite some play with this moveset. But funnily enough, you don't want to run the move of what's called Icicle Spear as much. Avalanche has a better win rate. Why is this the case? Because otherwise you would have 2 moves that are 40 energy. Avalanche has more damage per energy. You already have a very cheap 40 energy move with Superpower. It just looks better on paper. It just has a bit more play there. But to be fair, both of them are going to be fine. If you want to run the cheaper move, go for the cheaper move. If you want to have the harder hitting move, go for Avalanche. The thing is here that Superpower is the main important thing for this Pokemon, which you see as well in the rankings. You're going to be able to beat Bastion now, which is super important. You're going to have a lot of general hard hitting damage now, and even the Powder Snow fast move damage that is now a bit more. Powder Snow is now a Shadow Claw clone, which is insane. It's going to be quite nice. And so Cetitan is going to be a Pokemon that is going to have quite a lot of play for the upcoming season, and I am curious on how it's going to perform, but only one way to find out, right? Moving on. Fan favorite for a lot of people, Lucario. What a Pokemon this Pokemon is. And honestly, I was talking to like friends before as well, talking a little bit about the moveset update, and I said to them I'm kind of excited for Lucario. And I'm fairly certain that Lucario is not going to be a Pokemon that you're going to see quite that often. Reason being, it is not a bulky Pokemon, it doesn't have really the stats for that, and it doesn't even have the best typing. Being weak to ground in a meta out of like Mud Steppers is going to be quite difficult for this Pokemon. You're also going to have, Fang type coverage is great, but the typing itself is just not that nice. The cool thing about Lucario though, and why I'm so excited for this one, and why I want to try it out so much, is you have Force Palm, which is arguably the best fast move in the game. Why? It is basic Mud Slap, which people, including myself, think it's too broken, it's too overpowered, they might need a little bit of a damage nerf. Take Mud Slap and plus 1 damage on top of it, and then you have Force Palm. Force Palm generates the same amount of energy with 10 per usage, as well as you're going to do 13 damage instead of 12, which you do with the Mud Slap. So you're just a better Mud Slap and a better Astonish, which is Force Palm. It's super underrated because people don't use it, because there is no great Pokemon that has the fast move. If we're gonna get a bulky Pokemon that would have the fast move, then it would be a completely different story. Spoiler alert, we will most likely never see that, because there is no bulky Pokemon that could learn Force Palm in the main series games. So, yeah, we're gonna be stuck with Lucario. The best Pokemon would be Conkeldurr, please next season. Hopefully. But let's take a look at Lucario. And Lucario, why it's so cool is you have the best fast move, you have the best charge move, and Aura Sphere, 40 energy for 80 damage is ridiculous. And now you have Meteor Mesh, which is the next best charge move. And they're all stab, because Meteor Mesh is this season buffed, and also added to this Pokemon, buffed to 45 energy for 100 damage. Which is ridiculous, by the way. And then we're going to have Aura Sphere here, which is, again, like as I said before, we got buffed the season prior. So Lucario received a new fast move only recently with a Mega Ring released. Like it's like a year ago, I think, at this point. We have Aura Sphere, which is an insanely strong move, and we have Meteor Mesh, and all of them are stab. The issue is that you have really horrible typing for defense reasons mainly, as well as you're going to have not the bulk that you need in the Open Great League, which balances this Pokemon out, but I still think it would be a cool closer as well in a lot of scenarios, so I want to make this work. And we have a season where you don't have to worry about Elo, and while for me, first reaction towards it was like, it's a bit awkward for videos, right? Like there's nothing really to do for that. I'm actually excited for this now, because what you have is you have a meta where you can try out what you want to try out. And trust me, I'm going to bring the funniest Pokemon, funniest teams on this channel. I can't wait. And so next up we're going to have Doublade. This Pokemon recently got buffed as well, with a Gyro Ball being, I think, stronger nowadays. A Gyro Ball is currently an 80 damage move for 50 energy, which is 10 more damage than Iron Head, so it's actually completely useless currently to double move the Doublade, because there is no benefit of going for Iron Head. like Gyro Ball is just better and it's in the exact same energy and it's the exact same type. So unless you want to flex to an opponent, say like, yeah, I don't need the damage, Iron Head will never be run. But the thing is here, this Pokemon gets not only access to Shadow Claw, it's also gonna get access to Sacred Sword. And this makes such a big difference, and I won't tell you why. Doublade is going to be now a Pokemon that is going to be weak, especially to 2 types prior, to Normal and to Dark, especially to Dark. But basically, the Normal is going to be able to resist the Ghost type damage. Here, Doublade doesn't have the Ghost type coverage anyway currently, but now it does, with Shadow Claw as a fast move. But basically what you're going to be able to do is you can bait those Pokemon out now. Bait the normal type Pokemon out. You have Sacred Sword. You have Sacred Sword, which is going to be able to hit both of them for super effective damage. And now Gyro Ball is not a bad move either. So you have a Pokemon here that has an amazing defensive typing, has coverage for the types that it's kind of weak to, and it's going to be able to do a lot of damage there. The thing which kind of holds it back a little bit is of course the weakness to Mud Step and Astonish, the 2 most hardest hitting fast moves in the game currently. Other than, of course, Force Palm, but like nobody's using that. So that's kind of a bit of an issue for this, but otherwise this Pokemon is going to be amazing. Definitely try it out. I want to try this out most likely. It's my first Pokemon. I think this is going to be my first that I want to try. It's close to another Pokemon though, which is this one, which is going to be Ludicolo. Ludicolo is going to be a Pokemon that received 2 buffs. One of the buffs I asked for I don't know, like 2 years at this point or something, which is giving it a Weather Ball. But there is another buff that this Pokemon got as well, which I don't think was necessary. But here we are, we're gonna get Astonished on this Pokemon as well, which now makes it also an answer to Corsola. So Corsola is gonna be nearly gone. Trust me, Ludicolo is going to win most likely one of the regionals soon. Like, honestly, if this stays like this and there's no change towards Ludicolo whatsoever in the next few seasons, Ludicolo is gonna win definitely one the regional. I would be surprised if it doesn't, because this Pokemon is going to be absolutely broken. Like, you have Leaf Storm, which is a stab hard hitting move, so you cannot just no shield against this Pokemon. You have Weather Ball, which is a very solid stab cheap move, and then you have Astonish, which is going to be able to generate energy quite solidly. It has some great coverage while still doing solid damage. Like, this Pokemon is insane. This Pokemon is going to take down teams, let me tell you. This thing doesn't even have really a good answer here. Like, Fortress, I guess, is one of the better answers to this Pokemon, where you still do neutral damage against it, though. Like, there's next to no good answer there. I guess, actually, the best one is going to be Golisopod, as well as the Araquanid. But, like, yeah, that is still totally fine for Ludicolo. Ludicolo is going to be such a good Pokemon. Trust me, this is worth building. There's going to be a video for like top 20 Pokemon that you want to build for next season. I would say Ludicolo is going to be in that one. Dudunsparce. Dudunsparce got 2 buffs, which is great because this makes it different to the Dunsparce. For especially the Great League, it's really great because it gives access to a new fast move of Dragon Tail. A very good move that recently got changed to 12 energy and I think 9 damage or something like this, which is great for energy generation. The issue is, for Dragon Tail, you're only going to be able to hit super effective other Dragon type Pokemon. And that is it. And most Dragon type Pokemon in the current meta are part a type that is weak to rock, like either ice or flying, in Altaria or the Arctibex. Yeah. Arctibex, so Rollout is going to be better there anyway, and it's going to be super effective. And this is the thing as well, Rollout itself is super effective against Ice, Bug, Flying. I think I forgot one. I definitely forgot one. But there's definitely a lot of things that are weak. Fire. They're going to be weak to Rock, and this means that Rollout is actually the better fast move. But Body Slam is a good addition to this Pokemon. This is going to allow you to get a super fast to spam ball move, as well as you're going to still have Run, which is going to allow you to hit those Steel type Pokemon for super effective damage, which I think Dudunsparce will be a very strong Pokemon for the next season. Thing is here though as well, there are other normal type Pokemon that got buffed as well, which you might not actually think about yet, but there's going to be a video towards it. I took a look at the meta quite thoroughly before even the meta got announced, because they had the leak. I looked at everything already. I know kind of what I want to do for the next couple of videos, especially for the next week in terms of videos. Stay tuned. Trust me, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot coming up about that. Walrein. What does a Walrein do? Walrein got buffed with a Powder Snow as well as Icicle Spear. Very cool. Literally, it's a good Pokemon. It gets a nice average ranking increase. It's going to be able to beat a Credilli now, which is quite important. I feel like Credilli is one of those hidden Pokemon that's going to drop down. There's going to be a video as soon as the actual PvP rankings are out, in terms of which Pokemon got the most nerfs and the most buffs. But basically, this is going to be Walrein here for now, which is going to be just better, and it's going to be able to beat Credilli, and Credilli is going to get destroyed by quite a lot of Pokemon in this list. Yet again, there's going to be more videos towards Pokemon that get buffed, Pokemon that you want to build. Lunatone is a Pokemon that is absolutely going to be something that is funny. This was actually leaked wrongly. It was leaked with Weather Ball Rock, but it's actually going to get Weather Ball Ice now, which is going to be, generally speaking, I think a bit worse. Personally, I think Weather Ball Rock would have been stronger on this Pokemon, while Weather Ball Ice is great coverage. I don't think you can utilize it as much. You can actually utilize it a little bit more against like Pokemon like Clodsire, I guess. That's kind of nice for it. But otherwise, this is going to be an interesting Pokemon here. We're going to have a Rock Slide on it still as coverage move, which is the best. Why Weather Ball Rock would have been cool is because he could have went Psywave, Weather Ball Rock, as well as Moonblast, which is going to be great coverage for the current meta. But we take what you get. Weather Ball Ice on it is already going to be cool. The Soul Rock is going to get Weather Ball Fire, which makes more sense with Weather Ball Ice here. So like you can have the differences. It's going to be cold when the moon is up. It's going to be warm when the sun is up. Makes way more sense than having Weather Ball Rock on it. But for PvP, Weather Ball Rock, in my opinion, would have been the stronger addition to this Pokemon. That doesn't really matter anything, but we gotta move on now to the next one, which is Kartana. This Pokemon is on this list because it is funny, and this is the only reason why it's on this list. But it got 2 buffs, and it got 2 buffs that actually gonna help it out quite a bit, and it makes it fun to run, which means you will see it on the channel. There is no doubt about it. I will definitely showcase this Pokemon. I have one for the Great League, and trust me, I will play this Pokemon because we have now access to Fury Cutter as well as Sacred Sword. And this means you're not only like a one-trick pony, I don't know, because you're going to be able to go for Razor Leaf and farm down Pokemon. No, you are going to be able to get to your move super fast, and look what we have here as a win. We're going to be able to still win against basically all the Pokemon that we won previously other than Dedenne, which is fine. But we are going to be able to add wins against Golisopod, which you outspeed, against Ferret, which you outspeed, against the Empoleon, where we're going to have the coverage of a Sacred Sword now, against Pokemon like the Credilli, which is going to be great. Against Bastion, we're going to have coverage. And so, while Kartana is one of the squishiest and the highest attack Pokemon in the current metagame, full stop, it's going to be a demon to deal with because look at what it can do with the coverage it has and the moveset it has. It's a super fast-paced Pokemon that is going to be very threatening, especially when shields are down. When shields are up, this Pokemon is going to be quite bad though. So it's going to be a Pokemon that's going to be quite interesting to play. Play it closer if you want to play it. I will play it, and trust me, I think it's going to be great. But also, a Pokemon that actually pairs quite well as a ABB style backline for it is going to be Gogoat. Gogoat got 2 buffs. Gogoat got Brick Break, which got now more damage onto it. Or we have Rock Slide. And on this Pokemon specifically, I would say that Rock Slide is the stronger move. And while yes, you're going to lose out against matchups here against the Bastion, for example, and you don't actually win anyone on the right side there directly, you have 2 overall wins. The thing is here, I do think that the move Rock Slide is going to be more impactful for the Gogoat than the move Brick Break is going to be for it. Brick Break is alright if you're going to be able to get the bait correctly, but at the end of the day, Brick Break is going to be still way weaker than the Leaf Blade for 5 more energy. Brick Break guaranteed drops the opponent's defense, which is cool, don't get me wrong, like, it's nice of an effect. But it is going to be a bit of a, it doesn't do that much damage directly. So Gogoat with a Rock Slide is going to be more safe, but also is going to be able to cover up the Charizard as well as the Talonflame weakness that this Pokemon otherwise could struggle with. And so I do think that this is going to be a great move set update for the upcoming season, and so Gogoat is going to be a very good Pokemon to run. And here we're going to be with the final Pokemon for today. This is going to be Pokemon number 10 of this list, and yet again there's going to be another video out tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned. There are going to be multiple videos out tomorrow. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed the video so far, you're here still 15 minutes later, feel free to leave a like, would really appreciate it. Thank you. But what we see here now is a Bronzong. Bronzong gets Weather Ball Water, and I was confused about it because in the main series games, Weather Ball Rock would have made more sense because like you can survive the sandstorm, you don't get damaged there. That makes more sense in my opinion. But then thanks to all the viewers in the comment section in the video previously, I saw like 2-3 comments towards it. That apparently, based on the Pokédex entry of Bronzong, it's a bell that can kind of ring and then there's going to be rainfall afterwards or some stuff like this. It can kind of summon the rainfall. So it makes sense that if a Pokemon can summon the rainfall and has access to Weather Ball and learns Rain Dance in the main series games, that this Pokemon could have Weather Ball Water. So I will take that. that was definitely someone who suggested that, who had a lot of knowledge towards the game itself and the Pokédex entries apparently. But there's a dilemma here, because Bronzong with a Weather Ball is kinda in an awkward situation where what move are you gonna get rid of? It's a Pokemon where you would like to have 3 charge moves, because Payback is great as coverage for this Pokemon. You have that big weakness to Ghost type Pokemon that you would be able to cover up with that. But now you have Weather Ball Water, which is clearly a good move to have, great coverage, and great coverage against ground type Pokemon that otherwise would be a bit scary. But what do we do as a secondary charge move then? Psyshock is going to be the most neutral one. It's going to allow you to hit Pokemon for neutral damage. Good move to have. But what about Payback now? And this is the thing as well. On paper, this is the best moveset. Confusion, Psyshock, Weather Ball. But I do think that Payback actually could have some play, especially in certain metas, because you're going to be able to counter certain other Pokemon with it. For example, like this, you cannot hit Empoleon at all. And so, with at least Payback, you're going to hit it neutrally. And so it depends on how Bronzong is going to be played. I do think that Bronzong is going to be played though. I think it's going to be quite nice for it to have Weather Ball Water on it, which makes it quite more unique. And so this is going to be it for today's video. This is going to be the only video for today anymore, because we're already at 2 earlier on with Keldeo and the new season reveal. So I want to say thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. I hope I see you in the next one. And yeah, if you enjoy also face cam again, let me know down below, and I will see you then. Bye bye.